The lighting for these book nooks can seem a little intimidating at first, especially if it's your first time doing one. So here are some things that I've learned and that I do to make it a lot simpler. And the very first thing that you want to do is go ahead and get the lights plugged in and your batteries in to make sure that the lights work. And while I haven't had this happen before, it would be really bad if you get everything hooked up and then you come to the end and find that something's wrong with the lights. I also like to take a little bit of time and untangle the lights as much as I can. When it comes to securing the lights, there's going to be little brackets or you're going to use tape. And when it's time for a light to be added, you'll see a diagram that tells you how long the strand needs to be for that particular step. And to measure it, you want to start at the tape and then all the way down to the end where the bulb is. And you always want to follow the diagram of how it's telling you to lay the light, because the way that they have you laying it is going to help hide the strand. It's also really important to make sure that you're sanding down the edges for all these pieces, because sanding them down is going to make sure that they fit properly. And if you come across a piece that seems like it's a little wiggly, you can add some glue just to make sure that it stays secure. One of the biggest tips I can give you is making sure that you're measuring out the strands and using the right one for each step, because one of the first book nooks I did, I forgot to do it on one step and I ended up getting to the very end before I noticed it. So I ended up having to take everything apart and do it again because that last strand just wasn't long enough to reach where it needed to go. It also seems like towards the end, everything's like a jumbled up mess when it comes to the wires, but it only takes a couple of those little hooks and it'll get it straightened out. And I like that it has this little cubby door, so if the batteries go dead, I could just replace them easy instead of having to take the back apart. And you want to make sure to go through and pull any of the slack to give it a cleaner finish.